All right, Rick, out of home question number 14,212. No, all right. That's a little hyperbolic, but no, this is a real question. So I remember, I am of a certain age, as you can see with the color of the hair here, that mall advertising, and in particular out of home, we didn't really necessarily think of it as out of home. I'm curious about what's happening with mall out of home, because that's such a rich territory to mine.
Well, look, the shopping experience for Americans is changing, but the reality is that they still like to go out, see, touch, and feel merchandise. And the old mall is now turning into more of a center, a place for destination that includes restaurants and cinema and the spa, and you can get your car detailed, and there's reasons to dwell. And so as a result of that, especially at the high-end centers, you're seeing all kinds of unique and powerful out of home. Big digital screens, experiential moments, special custom installations. And, it's not only for products that are sold in the mall, but for more general products, movies, travel and tourism, tech even.
I'm now curious about the mall that you go to where you get cars detailed, because I think
maybe that's an LA thing.
I think it's definitely an LA thing, but I kind of like it. And what you will like, that's called a professional broadcast segue, is 15 Minutes with Rick. Go to 15withrick.com, schedule 15 minutes with Rick. You'll learn about mall advertising, but you're going to learn a ton more about out of home and what PJX Media has going on. Rick, thanks so much for joining us, and thank you for your support of Indie Agency News.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for your support of Indie Agency News. And before we get started, let's take a look at this.
The only thing I regret about my life is that I did what everyone else did at the time. I hired local talent. If I knew about Upwork, I would have hired actually talented people from all over the world, instead of talentless people from all over my house.
Grandpa! But...
This is how we work now.
You can't say enough good things about a zombie, right?
Yeah, it's
honest.
It gets your attention, I would say, that zombie.
Yes. Yes. And well, let me give a proper introduction. Hannes, welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is great.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be on the show, Doug.
No, it's great. It's really great. So let's talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about that work here in a minute. But the agency is, and Americans probably pronounce it Alto, but Alto, right? See?
That's correct. Italiano, perfetto.
Yeah, well, French minor. Yeah, just enough to get by. So when did you found the agency?
I founded Alto in 2019. Alto has a little bit of a longer legacy. It, rose like Phoenix from the ashes from a previous agency that I founded, JohnXHannes, and now 5 partners of Alto that were previously at the agency are with me, and we're enjoying it, doing it since 2019.
God, going on 4 years. Wow, yeah. That's really incredible. So technically, the agency is based in New York. Is mostly everybody in New York, or are you spread out a little bit?
We are a fully remote agency. Most people, I would say, probably like 60% are on the East Coast. There's probably like 3 people in New York City left. We had 15 before. 2020 did something to people where they found new possibilities.
It did.
Yeah. And we're based everywhere, from LA, New York, Portland, Hawaii, even Lisbon or Sri Lanka.
Great.
People are enjoying this new lifestyle in being remote.
Wait, did you just say Portland?
Yeah, I have quite a few people in Portland as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to discuss that off the air here. That's great to know. Great to know. My hometown. Obviously, we showed a really nice piece of work for Upwork. But what would you say your agency is best known for?
I think recently, probably this is how we work now. Upwork, the zombie Upwork CEO, as we call him as well, a 1980 CEO that returned from the dead to tell us that, you know, the old ways of working are dead and they're entirely made up by people like him, and there's something better that we could do with work. We recently did the I Want to Live digital tool and campaign for Montefiore Hospital. It really helps people connect with patients in need for life-saving organ to get a living donor to help them. We did this with Derek's in France and Ludovico in Audi. We built a beautiful tool that creates custom campaigns for each of those patients. The Corazon film, winning Grand Prix, winning film.
I remember that.
48-minute long that we did with Ana de Armas is probably one of our classics. And Expensify This, the world's first expensive music video featuring 2 Chainz and Adam Scott and golden toilets and eye-sculpted Lamborghinis is another one. And then John Malkovich is probably one of our classics, the campaign that we did with Squarespace, Make Your Next Move.
Right. And that's what I find interesting, is that you've got hit after hit after hit after hit. Yet it feels like that there's a lot more to it. And every agency, you know, every agency has a very long list of things that they're very good at. But what would you say are the top 3 core strengths of Alto?
Yeah, the word alto actually means to stand tall in Italian. We stand tall for what we think is conceptual creativity. We are strategically driven and love to build big brand platforms. There's an obsession with craft that we have in the making. And we believe if done right, you know, ads can thrill, they can delight, they can build brands positively, it can impact culture, and at its best, even, you know, what we show with Montefiore, save lives or help save lives.
Right. Yeah. And I remember Corazon incredibly well. I think I covered it a couple of times while we were at Cannes. Yeah. No, I thought it was remarkable. And, you know, here's what's interesting about your background is that, and this may provide a little bit of a glimpse into the way that maybe your worldview and the way that you approach things. So you were at places like the Monkeys in Australia. You were at M&C Saatchi in Sydney. You were in Germany for a while. So, I mean, you had a long stretch in Sydney, and then you were you're creative director on Nike and Google at RGA from 2012, in 2012, and that was where there was a lot of stuff coming down. And then Droga in 2013.
Yeah,
I'm curious. You know, you've had this multi-layered experience, both independent because the Monkeys were independent at the time, and also on the side of holding company agencies. But talk a little bit about why being an indie is important to you and to the broader team.
Yeah, very, very good question. And, you know, some of my key years of my career, I would say, were at independent agencies. And for me, especially Droga, like my last few years before I started an agency, were really telling. You know, I started in 2012, and there was a huge learning curve going from 100 people when we were in Lafayette Street to 500 people down on Wall Street. And you could see how an agency is growing and exploding, and suddenly it was more meetings and big corporate clients, and became harder and harder to maintain quality and push to exceptional work. And I'm not saying Droga didn't do exceptional work like the years after, but it became harder. And I think that reality of getting further away from the work, having to say yes to more hard clients, pushed me to start my own independent agency, and getting back to like doing the fun part, which is the work and serving great clients and being connected to work, and replicate that early Droga 5 model of work. Tended to be more fun to me at that time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know, you brought up the work and clients. Why is it important to be an independent and to be indie for clients? Because it is, you know, there are clients and brands and marketers and CMOs kind of love, like, you know, we're going to go with a holding company agency, and they love that. But what I'm hearing more and more from marketers is there's something special about working with an independent agency. Why is it important to be that for clients and brands?
Yeah, good question. I think it's different for every agency and how independent agencies work. For us specifically, it's, I think, access to the leadership team and very senior talent. We don't have a bait and switch, where the senior people roll in for the pitch and then more junior people do the work. And that leads to a very deep collaboration with our client. We believe that the brand's challenges can be only solved together in hard work and getting it right. And I love clients that push us and know what great work is. And that focused senior team with specialists, for us at least, allows us to guarantee the constant quality of work and the ideas. And we don't have any clients or projects that we're not proud of or hide on the side or, in the dark rooms of the agency. So we want to do hit after hit, like you were saying. We want to do quality work for everyone. And that's why we also are very selective about which clients we take on. I think there is power of saying no to things. Pick the jobs and clients that suit you. This year alone, we said no to 4 clients because our value didn't align. The creative opportunity wasn't right. We don't pitch for free as a rule. I think it's not great for our industry to pitch for free, to give away ideas, which is the value that you have as an agency for free.
Right.
And we think companies should be good or for the planet or people. And whether that's like a hospital saving lives, and I'm sure not every brand can do that, but also a software company that makes getting paid easier. It's like we start by asking what a brand brings to the table, and does it make something better? And that allows us to do the work we do and finding the right partners that want to do that great work and constantly push it. Okay.
No, let's look behind you right now. So I see an Emmy. Is that for Montefiore? Where behind you? Is that?
Yeah,
is that one's for?
Yeah, that's the last one.
And what's that D pencil? Look at I'm older, so I'm like, what? I can't read this. What's the D pencil for?
I actually wouldn't.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what that is.
This is from 2009.
Oh, geez. let me go get my 2003 Radio Mercury Award.
I don't know if there's
that's all I've got, Hannes. I mean,
I just 10 years.
Okay, I got. Yeah, my glory days are far behind me. I got lots of finalists. I got a stack of finalists and one win. So,
the one I'm still proud of. It was my first one.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's just it's nice. And listen. I'm. People can say what they want about awards. And I mean, we're running awards. So our first award is Indie Agency Honors. It's Indie Agency Producer of the Year, because we're going to do one every month, because we want to consistently raise the profile of the people that maybe end up on page 4 of the credits, because they deserve the credit as well. But I think it's a reward for a job well done. So let's go back to let's move away from me selling indie agency news to this is an interesting question. And I want you to think of one reason here. What is the main reason a brand should work with you and your agency?
We pride ourselves of being talented and nice. And I think that, combined with, getting to work with very senior people and the leadership team, I think is very unique these days. And in a world where there's more and more noise, right? And you need to stand out. Creativity, I think, is still the thing that cuts through. Like, we're bombarded with information every second. Like, you really need to stand for something and stand out as a brand these days. And I think that will be more important than ever. And that's at least what we do well. Other agencies do other things extremely well and can feed machines over, a year. But we love doing like these peaks of where a brand really has something to say and wants to stand for something.
Yep. I love that. Why should talent put Alto on their list?
We're finding that, the best talent doesn't want to be bound to one place anymore, or one agency, one brand, even if they go in-house. And so I think our model allows to bring in the best people. We calling ourselves like a Hollywood production model, where from a core team of 20, we scale up to the needs of every client and bring in specific resources, and not just whoever is free in an agency. So we're looking for the best talent. We treat everyone with the same respect, if they're freelance or full-time, and implement them in the process. We don't believe as freelancers, filling gaps for like a week or two. We really bring people in for like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months at a time to really produce the thing as well. I really believe that, talent should help to make things, because in the craft, in the execution, that's actually a big part of what makes ideas great. An idea is only a starting point for me.
Yep.
And that combined with a model where you can work from anywhere in the world, and we can work around your needs. If you're, a new mom, dad, escape the city because you want to live in nature, I think really allows us to bring the best talent, and not only in our industry, but outside our industry as well.
Right.
We really believe in bringing in, amazing writers, musicians, directors really early in the stage. Lucky enough to work with Derek in France for like a couple months, Ludovico Einaudi, Joe Mandy. It really shows you when you structure.
Wait, Joe Mandy?
Yeah.
The Good Place, Joe Mandy?
Yeah. He helped us writing the scripts recently.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, Ted Danson, our latest spot for Consumer Cellular. Ted was really adamant to get his tone right as well. And we brought in Joe, and he helped us, clean up things and add a joke here. And, it was really fun working with him. He came to the shoot, and it's good dude.
Consumer Cellular is an Oregon company, by the way. And this
yeah, Oregon proud. Yeah.
Right down the street from me,
Yeah.
no doubt. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'd forgotten that you had Consumer Cellular. Not to thump my own chest, but I do the voiceover for the explainer videos.
Amazing. I did not know that.
Yeah, so if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll hear my weird voice on the explainer videos.
I think you have an amazing voice. Do more of it.
No, it's just radio. It's just this is the radio days. The radios. So I don't think I've ever asked you this. So Ciatti, last name Italian,
Yes.
first name Hannes, German.
Yes.
How many languages do you speak?
3.
Like really good.
Yeah, we grow up bilingual in the region where I'm from. We speak German and Italian. Every street sign you will see there, and every office you go to, they speak 2 languages.
Right.
Europe has a long history of dividing up parts, and we were before part of Austria and then became part of Italy. And there's still a German-speaking minority there. So that's my 2 names.
So are you a calcio guy, or are you a futsal?
Calcio. Yeah.
All right, what's your team?
AC Milan. Yeah.
You're getting all the Americans now.
Yeah, I stopped believing for a little bit once I realized who Berlusconi is, but I'm back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you had to bring that one up. No, that's good. That's good. Here's a little thought.
Italy up without Berlusconi.
Yeah, well, I think we can empathize with that a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's do a little thought exercise here, whether it's a client that you currently have right now or one that you're like, you know what, I kind of would like to work with them. Who's a CMO or marketer you want to wave and say hello to?
All right. That's a good opportunity. I have to say I was very lucky to work with some amazing CMOs over the time at Under Armour, Nike, Beats, Apple, and Squarespace. And, thanks to all of them, we were able to do good work. I believe that, smart and driven clients that push you to the exceptional work, that's the only way to do it. You don't do it on your own. We talk a lot about great consumer goods that, help change the world. And everyone mentions the Patagonia and Adidas and Nikes that really try to make better products. I think it would be amazing to do another project with them that is about sustainability and athleticism. I'd love to have an electric car client, if anyone's out there and wants to do some advertising, because I think it will come down to brands pretty soon and not just product.
Mm-hmm.
And then, thanking all our amazing clients, Montefiore Einstein, Lorraine Babcock, the CMO over there, and Dr. Philip Oswald, the CEO, for the continuing trust and opportunities that they give us. And not only it advances the industry with the work, but it we play a small part in help saving lives. It's pretty incredible to do that.
Yep.
The amazing and brave marketers at Upwork, CMO Melissa Waters and Patrick Amanda, who embraced a crazy but ultimately smart idea. They saw it in that, and a CEO returning from the dead to tell us it's all made up, so why not make up something better? You know, they really put a lot of weight behind that and getting it to the place and selling it to the board and everything. The clients at Consumer Cellular, Craig, the CMO over there, and Carter, the VP of Marketing, we decided that it's time to do something everyone else in America stopped, and celebrating the endless freedoms of being older, being 55 plus. I think they only get a certain type of advertising, but there's way more to it.
Yep.
And, you know, Diageo is a great client. We're really proud to work on such a legendary marketing brand, and at Pickin and Julie and the team really push it forward. So we have exceptional clients. We love doing more great work. And I learned over time that it's not just the shiny clients that everyone's going for, but the clients that have huge ambitions and challenges and new industries that you need to push forward and push into, actually often more interesting and exciting. And so anyone that comes with the right ambitions, we welcome with open hearts.
I love it. I love that. I love that. No, that's great. Well, Hannes, as an Arsenal supporter, I will see you in the Champions League final this year.
It's about time.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
That was a tough year. I'm sorry to hear that about Arsenal. Amazing group of young kids.
I'll take second. I'm a Philadelphia sports fan. We finished second in everything. We never win anything. It's fine. It's fine. I can handle it. I can handle it. But in all seriousness, it's been great catching up again. And thank you so much for joining us and your support of what we're doing over here on Indie Agency News.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Really appreciate it. This was fun.